All right, what's up, everybody? I want to talk about local politics. I just did a video on a candidate named Aftyn Behn. One second, let me check my sound levels. I go in between the gaming and these videos, and the sound levels were total opposites. All right, okay, we're good to go now. So there's a candidate named Aftyn Behn. I pronounced it Ben in my video. I was wrong. It's Behn. Aftyn Behn. Coolest name I've ever heard in politics, at least off the top of my head. And one of the best the best Tennessee candidate I've seen in quite a while. And I just donated to her. I suggest you do the same if you care about local Tennessee politics. But I don't. Not many people will. Like, this video itself has like 4,000 views in a couple hours, but it's a big deal. Like, this is a congressional race, and it will have big implications if she's able to pull this off. But I wanted to highlight this candidate, do a video on her, another video, because it feels like Democrats are finally learning that don't take the bait. Corporate media is not your friend. They don't want you to win. They don't care who wins. Like, they spew out talking points and questions that their bosses give them. Their bosses are nonpartisan for the most part. Like, they don't care who wins. Whoever's going to do the favors for them. That's all they care about. Talk about billionaires, corporations. You should know this by now. But they ask her some stupid questions, like to derail her campaign, asking about like questions about police from 2020. There's stuff that has nothing to do with anything today. And she's like Mom Donnie, reframed it to affordability and her policies and her campaign. Watch this. And yeah, I will be pausing to give my thoughts. If you don't like that, you don't like somebody who actually has, having thoughts and, that enjoys using their brain and expressing things, go watch another YouTube channel. I don't know what to tell you. I don't do anything for views or analytics. I couldn't care less. Anyways, here we go.
November saw Democrats rack up key election wins in New York, New Jersey, and Virginia. They're hoping to pull off another in Tennessee in just over a week. On December 2nd, Democrats will try to flip Tennessee's 7th district in a special election, with Democratic State Representative Aftyn Behn running on cost of living issues. It's a deep red district that President Trump carried by more than 22 points last year. She's up against Republican Matt Van Epps, who received more than $1 million.
Hey, get this. Some backstory. The guy, and I'm glad a Southern anchor is leading this story. It's only fitting. But at least Jordan. But the guy that's not running, the one that dropped out from the race, dropped out. He resigned, saying after he voted to pass the one big beautiful bill, as they call it, because he knew he couldn't get reelected, and he screwed his constituents. Man, I could never do that. And he's getting a job in the private sector now because he was promised by lobbyists who, like I just said, are not your friend. They're a tool of the billionaires as well. And they promised him a job after he passed that bullshit bill that took away everybody's health care, and he's going to be sitting pretty. That's how this shit works. And I pray Republicans don't make the mistake of electing this Van Epps. He going to do the same thing to you, man. I'm begging Tennessee-7, please wake up.
From Trump's allied super PAC. Meanwhile, the House Democratic super PAC recently spent $1 million on the race. Before that, Democrats had invested little on the long shot race. Losing the seat to Democrats would fuel concerns that the GOP is heading for a tough midterm election. So the question now is, can Democrats pull off another unlikely victory? Joining us now to answer that question is Tennessee State Representative and congressional candidate Aftyn Behn. Thank you for joining the show. So, Aftyn, you're trying to pull off something that Democrats haven't been able to do since around 1983, and it's a pretty red district. You have pretty solid progressive credentials. How are you feeling?
And I don't want to be talking over these ladies. Man, I'm just in shock. I'm so impressed by this candidate. She's a legit progressive in Tennessee. I don't even care if it is, this isn't. I don't think Tennessee-7 is Nashville. I think it's like, I can't remember exactly where it is, but it's yeah. But just even a progressive in Nashville is not as common as people would think. Nashville's not a progressive city. It's a liberal city, if that. It's a corporate liberal city.
About winning over voters.
But she has legit progressive credentials.
Well, this race is competitive because Tennesseans are fed up with a Washington Republican agenda that keeps padding the pockets of billionaires while families in Tennessee can't afford groceries, can't afford childcare, and can't afford to get sick.
Beautiful teeth as
And so
well.
folks here are
Gotta
done
say
being
it.
sold
Very
out.
white.
They want leaders who will fight for them and not for the billionaire boys
I'm
club or the
jealous.
greedy corporations.
Representative, in 2020, you made some tweets that have since been deleted that were very critical of police. You said in those since
Okay,
deleted
guys.
tweets.
Here's the bullshit. She wants to this I don't know her name, the lady second to the left. She brought up freaking tweets from 2020, 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, about police when we were all in the fever pitch, man. We were all making crazy tweets about police. I know I was. Man, back when I actually had a Twitter account, I was very active in 2019, 2020. And I was, man, everybody was. And I agree. Okay, so, man, I respect police. I always qualify that because, like, overall, I respect what they do, and they've always been nice to me. But back in 2020, yeah, I felt this way too.
That the
I agree with
Metropolitan
everything
Nashville
she
Police
said.
Department should be
It
dissolved. Another
was a
cheered
different
on a
time,
teachers
baby.
union saying that defunding
How we were
police
back
should
then.
be a requirement for schools reopening. And another saying good
You're
morning,
feral.
especially to the
Huh.
54% of Americans that believe burning down a police station is
Bro,
justified.
2020, do people even think about what 2020 was like? We had no leader in the White House. So we just got to do, we were doing whatever the fuck we wanted. We were wilding out. People were fighting police in the streets. Shit was crazy.
2020 was obviously a very fraught year. Do you still
Fraught.
stand by those comments? And if not, is there anything you want to clarify?
Watch this.
I'm not going to engage in cable news talking points, but what I will say is that our communities need solutions. We need local people deciding, solving local problems with local solutions, and that's.
And shout out to Aftyn. She keeps her composure, but you can tell she was stormed because she wasn't expecting those stupid questions. She wanted to talk about her campaign and her policies, and they want to talk about tweets from 2020. Man, the media is a problem. A problem.
Not the overreach of a federal government or state government of which we are dealing with in Nashville
You can tell she's
and our
annoyed.
cities across the state of Tennessee.
So you don't want to clarify whether you still
Nope.
believe that the police should
Nope.
be defunded?
Once again, I don't remember these tweets, but what I'm saying is that
I'm not asking you if you remember. What is your position today? How's
Watch
that
this.
on this issue?
Watch this.
I mean, once again, I'm here to talk about my race, which is.
She's like Mom Donnie, man. The focus is incredible. Look at the twinkle in her eye. Man, can you tell I'm smitten by this damn candidate? Man, I love this candidate, man. I hope she succeeds because she might have more of a future in politics in Tennessee and beyond if she can pull this off.
In literally 9 days, and talking about affordability, which seems to be the #1 issue across the district. Voters are talking about the fact that they can't afford groceries, that their subsidies are not going to be renewed to afford health care on the marketplace. And that is the most salient issue that all of the voters in the 7th Congressional District are talking about.
What's wrong?
Can I ask you a bit about what your ground game has looked like and is going to look like in these final days? Because Tennessee is notoriously a very low turnout state.
Yes. And shout out to this anchor for getting it back on focus here. Talk about the actual campaign instead of fucking week. But yeah, Tennessee is a low turnout state because there's no hope here. That's why Republicans always win, because when Democrats turn out, we win. But there's never any good Democratic candidates here.
Democrats are often very demoralized there, sort of have the idea that, well, nothing is going to change.
What I just said, I didn't pre-watch this.
You just mentioned
this part.
healthcare. It's connected very much so.
This is my backyard, literally.
To the cost of living and affordability crisis in the country. About 600,000 people in Tennessee will see their premiums hiked with the expiration of these subsidies. So when you're talking to voters, when you're going door to door and you're maybe reaching some of the lower engagement, maybe
Think
lower.
about this fucking state. I talk shit about look on her face. I talk shit about this fucking state because it's awful, but I still love it because it's all I know.
Information
I
voters
don't ever
who
want to
aren't
leave.
typically energized in a cycle like this. How do you get them into the fold?
So Tennessee ranks last in the country in voter turnout, and
We're last
this race
in
is one
voter
of
turnout.
mobilization. It's who can get their voters to the polls And what we've been engaged in the past
It makes me
decade is
so sad.
building
Man, I gotta
the
run for
organizing
something here soon.
infrastructure we need to
Yeah, I'm
leverage in
running in
order to
San
win a
Diego. Keep
congressional
that
race like this.
motherfucker a
And I have been
criminal.
a grassroots organizer on the ground, rebuilding democratic
I'm too
infrastructure,
mean
the
for
democratic
politics, though.
fabric
I'm
we
such too many
need
controversial
to be
things.
competitive not only in races, but to restore our democracy. And so that is what our message has been at the doors, is one of affordability and one, come be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
And if elected, would you support current House leadership, especially as you yourself, you're young, you represent this new generation that's...
You know what I need? If I couldn't get into politics like this. I'm too writing media training because I could never handle an interview as well as she could. Man, I'll be going crazy about those tweets. I'll probably be like, yeah, I still believe in them. Then my polls will take 10 points. So I'm having media training. So I'm the way I am on this shit. What do people expect? When I react to people you talk to me, what the fuck do you expect? I'm an amateur. I'm taking one communications class. The fuck?
So many voters, not just in Tennessee, but that we talk to across the country, they're eager to see them take over positions of power. So who would you want to see lead Democrats in Congress?
I have a filter. I don't want to say.
I'd really like to see Southern leadership. I mean, my district is very different from the Democratic leaders currently, but the South has something to say. And if we flip this race on December 2nd,
The South has something to say. We
which
want
is
good
less
candidates.
than 8 days, we will have
I
rewritten.
think the South could turn blue one day. People say the South will rise again. I think the South could turn blue. One day in the South, I believe blue Texas is going to happen in 2028, and for the first time in my lifetime. And I believe that the South could be blue one day because there's going to be a wave of social democrats. I'm not going to say Democrats, social democrats in this country for the first time in our lives that are going to, we don't even see it coming yet. But there's going to be a young wave of probably between 30 and 40 years old that's going to come out of nowhere in between 26 and 27, and they're going to take over the fucking country.
Democratic playbook as to what it means to win in the South. And so
there's going to be backlash to the Trump.
South has been long forgotten, underinvested, and I'm just really grateful for the support nationally as we try to flip a R+22 congressional seat in deep red Tennessee.
It would certainly make Congress, make the House of Representatives an interesting story to watch in terms of whipping votes if you won this seat. How would you approach working with Republicans if you do win?
These questions are awful. They ask about our policies.
Pretty red.
Well, I'd take what I learned in the Tennessee House Legislature, which
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would you ask her such a dumb question? She's in the Tennessee legislature. You think that's a super majority of Republicans? She knows how to work with them. Why can't they just ask questions about the policies? It's like they don't want you to know what the candidate's really about. Corporate media is just ass.
And that's a lot of relationships.
That's why you have motherfuckers like me who are mean as hell, but will inform you. They got nice clothes on, nice necklaces and shit, and they don't get aggressive like I do. But damn it, I'll inform you. You learn nothing about our policies from this video. So I gotta list them in the fucking description. We'll just look at them.
And getting to know folks that are different from you. I always go back to the golden rule, which is to treat other people like you want to be treated, and that's the same sentiment that I would bring to Congress. I do want to flag that our campaign has been one about building a coalition of the disenchanted. If you are upset about the cost of living and the chaos of Washington, then I'm your candidate. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what political party you belong to. But if you want common sense and normalcy to be restored to government, then I am your candidate.
State Representative Aftyn Behn, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Really didn't even ask about our policies, man. I'm so pissed off. So I just we're just for the maybe one person that watches this, you can see what she's actually about. Aftyn Behn's policies and stances include supporting transgender rights, fighting for fair wages and workers' rights, and opposing corporate influence in government. She has supported legislation modernizing TN-7 to align with Medicare and commercial rates for certain health services, and has publicly opposed corporate projects like the Boring Company Tunnel in Nashville. As a politician, she has also supported other specific legislation, such as extending a respite care program for those with Alzheimer's and dementia. There you go. And MSNBC couldn't just take 5 minutes and ask about just 5 seconds and ask what do you stand for? It's great. Saw my tweets from 2020.